Hello, Edward O'Hara here doing my postmortem video for mobile game development. To start off, a few things that went wrong when developing my game Turtle Adventure were finding a parallax background that was scrollable and did not show a seam where one image ended and the other began. I was able to overcome this by purchasing a $6 8-layered background from graphicriver.net. Another issue I ran into was using the accelerometer to control my turtle. I wasn't able to figure out how to use the accelerometer properly. I was only able to move the turtle on the x-axis or print out the data, full data of the accelerometer. Another issue I ran into was accounting for screen sizes for 3.5-inch iPhone 4 up to the iPad Pro. I was able to get it from iPhone 6 to iPad Pro, but still having issues with the 3.5-inch screen sizes. Some things that went right for me during my development of Turtle Adventure was I had no trouble loading or playing sound effects or background music. No issues with the AV player. Also, once I figured out how to implement Game Center, actually authenticate a local player into my app, adding achievements in iTunes Connect and into code or scores to leaderboards, and presenting Game Center view controllers to the user was very easy. Also, issues with editing, things that went right were I purchased an underwater image asset set, and it allowed me to easily create keyframes because all the images were vector. So I purchased the license for that and made my keyframes out of the vector images that I purchased. What I learned from the experience, from this experience developing my game, was how much goes into developing a game, any game. Before this class, I was unaware of how much planning, coding, debugging, editing of images go into everything to look correct on the screen while moving the correct speeds, times, as well as keeping to the human interface guidelines of Apple in this case, or for whatever platform you're developing for. I also learned about writing functions with a lot of logic and functionality. Writing functions with a lot of logic and functionality. I feel after this class I gained a lot of coding skills and the ability to overcome issues or bugs when coding any type of app, not just a game. I also learned a lot about where to place code and using Boolean values to check and then setting it to true, false. I learned a lot about code structure, placement, and where to call code. I used to have a lot of issues. I would write my code and logic would be correct, but I wasn't placing it in the right spot, and I seemed to overcome that once I got to my beta and gold builds. Some things that I would have done differently, given the hindsight I have now, is I would have made sure to have all my assets to the scene's size so that it was easier to account for different devices and screen sizes. I would have also made sure to have all my image assets organized by the sprite name, which size each image was, and then once I finished the keyframe atlases, put them all organized together. I just seemed to have stuff scattered and had to keep redoing and scaling my images, either setting the sizes in Illustrator and then scaling them in my application. So I would have done that differently, the organization and structure of how I did all my assets and images. Some features that I would have added if I could start over are having the accelerometer working to control the turtle's movement. I would also have a separate scene for my instructions, a button to bring the user back to the main menu from the game scene, a settings button on the main menu that takes you to a separate scene to allow the player to toggle the sound, the controls to either tap or use the accelerometer, set the level of difficulty to play at. I would have made 3 different levels of difficulty. I also would have added more animations to my game, having the turtle be affected by the physics world so that it would have looked like he's floating, and then create an atlas to make him swim, and I would have created keyframes animations for the jelly enemy, the turtle power-up, and the extra life. My experience with this project has influenced me to pursue further development of my game and develop my game to have all the functionality and features that I would like. I am going to try to finish completely having everything that I've just mentioned in the last paragraph there, have all of that implemented and actually deploy this game on to the App Store. I will further along my development of this game, but as for game development as a whole, I probably won't develop another game, but thank you for listening. Have a good day.